Welcome to Up to the Minute. I'm Todd Duplantis. Glad to have you with us on this Thursday. We've got a great show lined up for you. Next half hour, we've got your HCC news and information. And hey, it's a Thursday. That means Thursday's virtual family fun day. And we've got a special guest from the Rothko Chapel joining us. All that and more coming up shortly. My co-host today joining me from her home studio, Dr. Tony Rayo-Sutherland. Tony, good to see you.
To see you. I'm so glad you're on vacation, but at least you're back for a little bit. Huh?
Yes. Yeah. I'll be working a few days each week. So glad to be here today as one of them. And, we got some special guests coming up. You've got an interview with the Rothko Chapel in a few moments. But to kick things off, you want to talk with folks about our social media we have out there.
Absolutely. You can find us on Facebook, YouTube, LinkedIn, and Twitter. Just go to Houston Community College District and you'll locate us there. And then in addition to that, we are now back on our HCCTV channel or cable channel, back at noon and at 5 p.m. Monday through Friday. So check your local listings and you can see us there too.
Pretty cool. We're all over the place. I go on vacation and we're on HCCTV. We're on social media. Hey, why not? All right, Tony, we've got an interview for you in a few moments on your interviews with Ashley Clemmer. Ashley is the Director of Programs and Community Engagement at the Rothko Chapel. She's also our Thursday virtual family fun day guest. Good morning, Ashley.
Morning.
We are looking forward to talking with you in a few moments. So grab a cup of coffee. We'll be with you shortly. But first things first, we're going to kick things off with one of our HCC guests, Alberto Urbina. He is the Dean of the Material Science Center of Excellence and the Smart Technology Program. That's what he's here to talk about. Good morning, Alberto. Good to see you again.
Good morning, Todd. Thanks for having me.
It's good to have you on the show. And now you're the Dean of the Material Science Center of Excellence, but you're here today talking about what's really the future of trade technology, smart manufacturing, smart technology. What is it? And what are we doing with it at HCC?
Yes, I'm very excited to be able to be the Dean of the new Center of Excellence, which is Material Science and Smart Manufacturing. The smart manufacturing piece really captures the latest technologies that are taking place in the manufacturing industry, the computer numeric control, CNC controllers, the robotics, and all of the industrial automation. Those are all the different areas that the smart manufacturing really captures. We offer courses, trainings, different credentials and degrees to be able to prepare students for the smart manufacturing industries. There's a lot of those here in Southeast Texas with all of the manufacturers, both related to petrochemical and others. So that's really the idea behind the new Center of Excellence is really that synergy between our welding, pipe fitting, and also the manufacturing and machining programs.
Welding, manufacturing, pipe fitting, it all seems like those would be, the trade would be somewhat standard. You learn the basic skills and you can take it out in the workforce. For the smart technology, are students going to be learning on both hardware, meaning the machinery, and also the software that they would actually take those skills and be able to walk into a manufacturing plant and operate their machinery? Absolutely.
So students first would start off with the programming side. There's different softwares out there like Mastercam, CAD/CAM, BobCAD, just to name a few that students will learn how to use to be able to control the machinery. That's really what makes the technology smart is the programming side. So yes, students would learn how to use the different technologies, the hardware and the software to program those machines. But really, the students really need to be a journey worker in a welding, a pipe fitting, machining, sheet metal industries already, because the folks that program those machines really need to make sure that the machines are working properly. So both of those pieces of the curriculum go hand in hand. You need to be a machinist before you can program a machine to do the machining automatically.
You know, Students or the audience may wonder, well, where are these jobs that students can find? I know Stafford has a number of manufacturing companies down there, but it's all across the Houston area. We talked to a student in the last couple of months. She went through HCC's manufacturing program. She's now working for Igloo, and that's on the far west side. So students can really go out and get these jobs. They're in high demand. And what type of salaries are we talking about? Is it an hourly position? How much would they earn an hour? And is there a chance for overtime and to really increase your earning potential?
Absolutely. You're absolutely right that there's a lot of manufacturers in the region. Igloo is just one of them. They make a lot of the different coolers that we all use. There's many other examples like that here in Southeast Texas. But according to the Texas Workforce Commission, for someone that is new to the industry, that has a certification, that has these trainings, they can expect to earn between $16 to $20 an hour. That doesn't include overtime. That's just straight pay, but it is a full-time job with benefits and with the possibility for overtime, and also to be able to move up within that industry after they gain experience and some additional certifications in their area.
You're talking about certifications. What can they start working with? How long does it take to get the basic certification? And how far can you go in the program?
So we offer fast track training. The fast track training can be completed in as little 4 to 6 months. We have a pretty flexible schedule. We offer day classes, afternoon classes, evening and weekend classes. So students can complete those credentials within that time frame, 4 to 6 months, and then be able to start working in their respective area. Because our programs are all stackable, students can start with the fast track training and then move into maybe a certification, additional certification, or possibly even a 2-year associate's degree. Because like I said, all of our programs are stackable. They do fit into each other, and students will get credit for any previous certifications or trainings that they have taken.
I'm glad you mentioned the fast track training program because you and I talked last week. We did a promotion with ABC 13 regarding the fast track training program. And that's an incredible program. If you want to explore everything, because Alberto, maybe you can correct me if this, but there are a number of disciplines outside of manufacturing. There's IT, cybersecurity, there's some medical coding and other medical related careers. And there's one website they can go to explore all the careers of the fast track training. And get this, the tuition is paid for through grants, right?
Yes, sir. That is correct. There's several different programs there, ranging from manufacturing to construction, to the medical industry, and to the real estate industry. There is funding opportunities, scholarship funding opportunities for students. And yes, those programs are all fast track. They can be completed within 4 to 6 months for most of the programs.
So check it out, hccs.edu/fast-track. Okay, final thing, you've got some career fairs coming up. Maybe you can tell us about those.
Yes, sir. We are very excited to partner with our advisory committee members and with local employers. We're going to be hosting a career fair specifically for welding and our manufacturing students. That's going to be August 4th. It's going to be from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. at the Eastside Center, Workforce Building 2. And we're looking forward to hosting those employers and hosting the students and connecting those two parties. So hopefully students will be able to start their new career here within the next few weeks.
Alberto Urbina, the Dean of Material Science Center of Excellence with the Smart Technology Program. Alberto, thanks for being here this morning.
Thanks for having me again, Todd.
All right. We are going to move on now. We're going to be talking back to Dr. Tony Rayo. And Tony, it's always great on the Thursday because it's Thursday Virtual Family Fun Day. And you've got a special guest you're going to be talking with. Well, your mic's off, Tony. So let's, there we go. Can't hear you yet.
There we go.
Okay.
Okay, technicalities. Yes, we have Ashley Clemmer. She's the Director of Programs and Community Engagement at Rothko Chapel. And of course, as you said, the Thursday Virtual Family Fun guest. How are you, Ashley?
Oh, hi, Tony. I'm great. Thank you. Thanks for having me here.
Oh, it's wonderful. And I understand this is your 50th, not your 50th anniversary, but the Rothko
Using
Chapel.
very good face cream, can you tell?
The Rothko Chapel 50th anniversary. Just like HCC, it's our 50th anniversary too. Tell us a little bit about the history and the background of Rothko.
Sure. Thanks for asking. Well, the Rothko Chapel, for those who aren't familiar, we're located right here in the Museum District, Montrose community. We're wedged between the Menil Collection and the University of St. Thomas. And we opened in 1971 as an interfaith sanctuary, a place for people of all religions, those of none. We are many things all at the same time. We're a work of art by the artist Mark Rothko. And we also have a long history of being an epicenter to rally around significant human rights issues of the day.
Wonderful. Now you have something coming up called the Opening Spaces campaign. What is that all about?
Sure. Well, about 5 years ago, we embarked on a capital campaign and we've named it Opening Spaces. And it was driven by two needs. Number one, the Rothko Chapel is naturally lit. So if you come and experience this incredible place, you actually are experiencing these works of art that you're engulfed by, and it's all with natural lighting. But the light hasn't always been optimal. So it's just something that we wanted to really realize the original design with the current technology that we have. Also, we have grown over the years, in the 50 years, as you can imagine. Houston's a very different city than it was in 1971. So we have up to, before COVID, up to over 100,000 visitors a year. And what we were finding was that we were trying to do a lot of things out of one space, both being a quiet sanctuary, but also welcome guests from all over the world and engage with them and give them guided visits. And we really didn't have the means to do that. So in embarking on this restoration a couple years ago, what we did is we've currently restored the Rothko Chapel, really optimizing that light, taking it back to that original concept of just a sanctuary and quiet place for reflection. We've made improvement to our grounds to provide more space for people to sit out in shaded areas to really process their experience after they've been inside, or just to have a quiet moment and green space here in Houston. And we've also opened a new welcome center, which allows us to tell the story of the chapel and to engage more deeply. And this experience is continuing to expand our campus. So that is the first part of two phases. And the second phase is going to include the introduction of a new program center, which will give us even more opportunity to engage with the community and present programming, as well as a meditation garden here on campus, and also a new state-of-the-art archive and research and administrative facility.
Well, the chapel began celebrating Reverend King's birthday way before it became a national holiday. Tell us a little bit about that. It was the first monument to him, right?
That's right. So in addition to the Rothko Chapel, there is another work of art on our campus, which is the broken obelisk created by a contemporary of Mark Rothko's, which is Barnett Newman. And it was placed here and dedicated to the Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. In 1971, when the chapel was opened and consecrated. And there's a really interesting backstory that I'll just briefly say, in that the founders of the Rothko Chapel are Dominique and Jean de Menil. They were activists, arts patrons, philanthropists, French-born, but really helped shape so much of the culture and the art here in Houston. And they had a vision of bringing this work of art to Houston, and we're in talks with the city of Houston at the time about placing this work of art in front of City Hall and dedicating it to Dr. King, who had just been assassinated the year before. And I think that for the city of Houston, it was a little too soon for them. They wanted to accept that piece of artwork, but they did not they weren't ready to take on that dedication. And so ultimately what the de Menils did was they bought the piece outright on their own, and then it was placed here in relationship to the chapel. So it's been here as a marker.
How wonderful. And it's non-denominational, all that kind of thing. what if you go inside the chapel, what exactly would you see?
So when you walk inside the chapel, you are engulfed by 14 monumental canvases, paintings created by Mark Rothko. They are deep in hue, dark purples, maroons, some even sea black, very dark, and otherwise there aren't any, there's no imagery. So it's really just an empty slate in some ways for people to go within themselves and bring whatever they want to bring to that. So it's kind of like looking at the clouds in some ways, right? Like different people see different things within the images.
Yes. Well, now you said that you have some programs going on, some specifically to celebrate your 50 years. What are some of these programs?
We've been celebrating since February, and we're continuing through the end of the calendar year. The chapel also has a long history of awarding human rights awards and having symposia and colloquia where we gather around significant issues of the day. So in celebration of our 50th anniversary, we're going to have a 2-part symposium exploring the state of civil and human rights in the U.S. And that is beginning with a lecture series that starts tonight with Reverend Barber from the Poor People's Campaign and Repairers of the Breach. And it's going to continue through the summer. So we have 3 more lectures, and then we'll be having a multi-day gathering in the fall in October to continue to explore these topics.
That's wonderful. Now, how can people learn more about the chapel?
In a couple ways. One, the easy, fast way, if you're remote in your homes, is to go to rothkochapel.org. Also, we do have a presence on Facebook and Twitter and Instagram. And we also welcome you to come physically to the Rothko Chapel and to the Welcome House located at 3900 Yupon Street, where you can experience the space and learn more about the history.
That's wonderful. Well, there's what you have programs, you have what else? Tell me a little bit about the garden that you said that's out there. What is that all about? What does it look like?
Sure. Well, you bring up a good point of just kind of the landscape of just the entire experience. I will go back and say the chapel is open Tuesday through Sunday from 10 to 6 for people to just come and to sit and experience the space. And when you come on the grounds, it sits on almost a city block, and there are different areas to go and sit within birch groves, and the broken obelisk that I spoke about is right there as well.
I've got a question for you, Ashley. During COVID, a lot of museums and locations across the country took time to maybe reevaluate how they were doing things and offering more things online. What challenges that present to you with trying to educate people about the Rothko Chapel, still try to keep them engaged? Because I know you're doing some live streaming on Vimeo for some of your events you have now. Tell us how things went during COVID, and were you guys able to do some new things that you hadn't done before?
Yeah, thanks for that question. Well, we were in an interesting position in that we didn't have to close due to COVID. We were already closed because we were in the middle of our restoration. So we just opened a little more slowly than we would have otherwise. COVID provided us a number of different opportunities. One, it gave us a chance to really comb through our archives. So we really started mining all the different programs we've had over the years and sharing a lot of those recordings, which many people didn't know about. We did start offering virtual programming and have continued to. So we haven't had any in-person programming yet. We're just now imagining what that would look like in the fall and how to do that in a safe way. And while it's been different, presenting virtual program, we have tried to live stream it from inside the chapel. So we're still giving people that experience, in their home of being inside the chapel. And it's really allowed us the opportunity to expand our viewership. So we have people now joining from all 50 states and from, 20 plus countries. So we really see what we've been able to learn and do during COVID as an and, not an or, right? We want to continue to do that. And we also welcome the opportunity to be able to have people back on site.
Your website is rothkochapel.org, and all of your social media, Vimeo channel, and all your online offerings people can find through your website. Is that right?
That's right. Yes.
All right. Thank you, Ashley, for being here. Ashley Clemmer, the Director of Programs and Community Engagement for the Rothko Chapel. If you haven't been out there, folks, it's an incredible location. I think, it takes me a while to learn how to meditate, but if I'm going to learn how to meditate, that's the place to do it. It's so peaceful, and it certainly allows the location and the immersive environment to get inside yourself a bit.
Well, thank you so much for having me here, and we look forward to having you all and everyone who's viewing come visit us soon.
I'm going to have to come there soon. I need some rest and relaxation.
Yeah, all right, Tony, you can head out there today, Tony. Sit out in the gardens.
Thank you. You're my boss. You said I could do it.
I said you could. Bring your laptop with you, though. All right. We're going to move on to some HCC news and information, keeping you up to date with everything we have going on across the district. Summer fitness with Rec Sports. Rec Sports is back and ready to play virtually with some fitness tips through July 28th. Noon, Tuesdays and Thursdays. That means today as well at noon. Boot camp. That's right. Boot camp. They've got it online. You don't have to wake up. You hear all these people posting on Facebook and they're like, I got up and went to boot camp at 4:00 in the morning. I'm thinking, are you crazy? All right. Yeah. Okay. Get some sleep. Well, you can do it at noon with HCC online. Doesn't cost you anything. You don't have to be hollered at by a sergeant at 5:00 in the morning. You can do it in your home. Okay. For more information, we'll have the link in the social media post for this show. All right. July Community Learning. That's happening as well, Tony.
Yes. We have a couple of things going. It's called 50 Plus Computer Basics. So if you go to a computer and you don't really, there's so many software out there. It's hard to keep up with it, but this is Tuesday, July 27th, 1:30 to 3. You can go learn some more things about how to make that computer work. Also, rock your LinkedIn profile. Everybody, not everybody, but I guess a lot of people now are using the LinkedIn for professional reasons and for other reasons. And so there are ways to make yourself look even better than you've already got it down there. So on Tuesday, same day, July 27th, from 5:30 to 7:30 a.m., you can go learn how to improve your look on the LinkedIn profile. And we'll have information on that on the hccs.edu/community-learning.
Okay, 5:30 to 7:30 a.m. I'm going to take a wild guess and say that's 5:30 to 7:30 p.m.
You know what? I think you might be right.
Yeah, I'm going to go
early
on that. So, I don't think you're not going to be rocking any LinkedIn profile at 5:30 in the morning.
I'll be rocking anything at that time in the morning.
Yeah. Okay. Gallery Without Walls. We've got a gallery exhibition going on at HCC. And of course, the art galleries on the campuses, they are slowly reopening, but we're holding all of the student exhibitions online virtually through Instagram. That's right. Instagram. It's a very long link. We'll have that in the social media post, but you can check out the handle on Instagram and check out the students' work. It's certainly worth seeing. Eagle Promise, that's happening. Earn your degree for free. Yes, that's right.
Absolutely. I mean, free always sounds good. If your federal and state grants aren't enough to cover all your things for, your books, your food, all the other things you have to have, you can go to Eagle Promise and it will help pay for the rest of the money that you need. So don't wait, though. Apply today. Go to hccs.edu/free degree. Free degree says it right there.
And if you're enrolling in the fall, this is a game changer. The government has provided Houston Community College with $59 million for scholarship money for our students. This money is to be used to pay for your college after you use your grants. You'll get maybe some Pell grants and other grants like that. And also maybe a scholarship. You might have a little bit left over. Well, we've got $59 million to help you pay for that or use it for things like supplies, fees, books, food. food, transportation, childcare, healthcare, and of course, pay for all your tuition. There's no reason why you shouldn't be enrolling for the fall at HCC. In order to qualify for this HERF funding, it's the Higher Education Emergency Relief Funding. In order to qualify, you have to be enrolled for the fall. There are going to be 2 distributions of funding happening in the fall, but you got to be a student first. Don't worry about those payment plans. Get you enrolled. We'll help you with the rest through this funding. So make sure you go and apply today. And if you need a new skill set, we've got more funding available through the Texas Reskilling Grant Program.
Yes, we do. It's dedicated to providing support to displaced Texas workers impacted by COVID. So there is no reason not to get an education. There's go there. You can change whatever you were doing, get something that maybe is more in demand. And this program will help you. It's hccs.edu/Texas-reskilling.
You know, we've been talking about all these means of funding for students, Tony. You're an adjunct faculty member. You know, there's no reason why students should not be enrolling for the fall, especially if you're worried about, you know, how am I going to pay for this? You know what happens with, and you know this better than anybody, our students will wait till the last minute because they're waiting to get paid. I understand that. And they want to use that money to pay for their college. Well, we've got ways of doing that, you know, between government funding, the Texas Reskilling Grant, my Eagle program. You can literally go to college and get all your tuition paid for.
Absolutely. There's no reason. You think, well, you come up with all these reasons why you can't, but financial is not one of them. For sure.
I mean, we will handle the finances. Just get enrolled at HCC. Since I've been here, and I don't know about you, you've been here for decades. Have you seen it to where we've offered this much funding to pay for students' college so far?
No, I mean, I think we just named about 5 different ways.
Yeah, I mean, to pay for the
funding. That's never happened before that I can remember. I mean, you could get maybe a few grants, a few scholarships, but this is wide open. I mean, and it's for everybody, no matter really what your economic background is. There is something for everybody to help you with your education.
That's exactly right. Enroll today. There are 5 ways of enrolling, 5 learning means. You can take courses strictly online, some hybrid courses if you want, where some of it's online, some of it's in person. But in-person classes has returned to our campuses. They're happening now for the summer sessions. They're going to be returning more in more abundance in the fall. And you can go to one website to register, hccs.edu/now. Okay, that wraps up today's show. Tony, you're going to be back next week. Who's on the show tomorrow?
Tomorrow, we have Quincy Henderson, Career Services Specialist for HCC Southeast, and they're going to give us more information on how our students can find jobs after college, which is very important.
And it's Film Friday with special guests from Black Rebel Productions who tell us about an upcoming horror anthology. That should be cool.
That'll be very cool.
Yeah. So if you like horror films, you're going to love tomorrow. Okay, Tony, we'll see you next week. We'll see all of you tomorrow live right here, 10 a.m. on Up to the Minute.